Hello YouTube, Bassist Lamps here with you once again. A couple weeks ago after a gig, I had a good friend ask me if I'd be willing to upload a quick video on how I navigate the tune Valerie. So that's what I'm going to be doing for you. The version of Valerie that features Mark Ronson on it. Okay, so that version. We're going to go over some note options things. We're going to look at rhythm and feel. Just three quick things that can really help your bass lines on that song. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. That'd be much appreciated. So for a more broad spectrum, if you will, when it comes to note choices, you really need to know the modes of the major scale. So when I'm playing this, that's what I'm thinking about. But within those modes, the root, third, and fifth are more important than the other notes within those scales. So for this lesson, to simplify it, we're going to look at the root, third, and fifth of each one of the chords. The E flat major chord, the F minor chord, the A flat major, the G minor, and the B flat 7 chord, the 5 chord. So we'll look at the root, third, and fifth. Within that, the root is the most important note. The fifth is the second most important note, and the third is the third most important. So when you're playing, think of the root, then think of maybe adding the fifth, and then think of maybe adding the third. Okay? That's the easiest way and the best way to navigate that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a drum backing track, which I have set up right behind the camera, and I'm going to go through the form a little bit. I'm not going to play the form perfectly. At least I don't think I am. I mean, just for time's sake. And then I'll go through the bass line, and I'll play just the root, and then I'll put the fifth in with the root, and then I'll add the third. And with that being said, I'll put the notes, I'll put the root, third, and fifth of all 5 of those chords somewhere on the screen, okay? So, here we go. So just the root. So forth. So now what I'll do is I'm going to add the fifth. So I'm going to think of the root first, and then I'm going to add the fifth with the root. And so with that fifth also, a few times I actually played the fifth below the root. So there were some times when I played the fifth here, and then there's also times when I played it low. Both of them work. So now I want to put in the third. So we're going to add the root, fifth, third. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I just gave you the note options. So now what about the rhythm? So with the rhythm, you're going to want to pick up that pattern which is throughout. Now, must you play that the whole time? Not necessarily. Do you need to play parts of it? Yes, you do. Especially the part. That needs to be in your bass line somewhere. That is very prominent. The part needs to be in there. How you finish up the pattern after that, that's up to you. Do I improvise this on stage? Absolutely. I do based on what the drummer's doing. I do based on what's happening with the rest of the band. I mean, so this song, when I play it, is largely improvised. I mean, it's almost entirely improvised. The part that I don't improvise is that rhythmic cell is already there for me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to mess with the rhythm some. I'm still going to think of the root, third, and fifth of the chord changes, but I'm gonna use that rhythm, and I want you to hear how sometimes I'll play the pattern directly, but then how I can also take that pattern and how I can alter the pattern. But you can still hear the pattern in there. Here we go. And play the backing track. Here we go. And let me turn this off. So when it comes to the rhythm, you need to have that rhythmic cell within your bass line. And so once again, do you need to have the whole thing in there? No, but you definitely want to have the beginning of it. And what you do with the back half of it, that's up to you. That's typically where I will do the rhythmic improvisation, if you will. And last thing, feel. This needs to be light. Your bass line cannot be punchy. You can't think of like a death metal bass player playing this. And I think this is where rock bass players very often will have trouble with this feel and with this style. It's got to be light. Count Basie said something to the effect of once that the band has to sound like a warm knife going through butter. And that's kind of what this is. It's light, it's on top, it's not heavy, it's not down through the floor, it's not that sort of a thing. Alright, so thank you for watching. If I can be of any help, just let me know in the comments and I'll do what I can to answer. And so forth and so on. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Peace.